boy Gavin from Team Enforcers bringing you a 4th place deck profile by the man, the myth, the legend, Will Morrison. Let's get into it.
Known as Gavin's deck, but better. Alright.
Yeah, you got 16th more than me, but yeah.
Free rocks, because shutting off hand traps is pretty good. Breaking boards is good. Oddly enough, this wasn't like the most important card today. A lot of times it was just beating over smaller monsters, but it's still a really good card. 2 maidens. I don't like running 3. I always draw too many monsters off of demise and stuff, so I only run 2. I've never had an issue with it. You just have to be smart when you play Desire, so you don't banish all your monsters.
Oh, for sure.
Playing this because that's all you can play. And then 2 Masterpiece because 3 is too bricky, the usual. Spells are for the most part pretty obvious. 3 of, 3 of, 3 diagram.
3 diagram.
Full consistency with terraformings, demise. Kind of stupid. I do play 3 duality.
Not ulti.
Yeah, secret first, it's better. I do play 3. It's an easy side out, one of them, but I like having 3 for the consistency going main, and then I'll usually side out 1 for a better card. And then 2, 3 is too many, 1 is not enough. You want all the draw power you can have. The 1 upstart because 39 cards consistency, and then these. So the reason I play both of these is because for this regional, it's a lot of rogue for the most part, and both of these are good going second. And I figured everyone's going to want to go first, try to set up their boards, so I figured I'd just go ahead and break them and then play from there. So both of these put in a lot of work with that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rogue. I played against Tellers and Nurse Burn.
Yeah, 2 Typhoons, same thing. This is really good going second and still does its job if you have to go first. I never actually drew it to use going second, but it did come in handy as just generic backer removal.
Why'd you play that over Erupt?
Again, because I decided to go second all the time, and Erupt is pretty bad going second. It's not something you can use to break a board with. That, and there were at least 3 people that thought that I was playing Mech Knight Invoked initially and like set up their plays accordingly, and then when the Draco start coming down, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
3, somebody find me a super, please. But it's obvious, and then the 1, also obvious. The 1 skill drain, also just really good. Block people out. There are a lot of times that I just sat on this and Amato and beat people down. Like I did that against Trickstar and against Invoked. And then these, they aren't per se going second cards, like you can't use them right away, but a lot of times there's just one very powerful monster or spell or trap in the case of Judgment that's going to stop you from winning. Like, I stopped Busters, Borreloads, things like that, or I Judgmented like 3 evenly matched, so they came in handy a lot. Main deck counts 40.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and show you the glorious extra deck. 3 tokens. Because just in case I need them, and they're pretty. Only reason I played an extra deck is because I wanted people to think that I was playing Mech Knight Invoked going second, and it worked. But I did play things that can potentially be summoned, so both of these, this is like, if you somehow need to like pull off a second tribute for Masterpiece, you can use this main phase too, bring something back with Erupt, and then use both tributes if you don't want to tribute, or return, not Erupt. But it's super niche and never came up, but like it's there just in case. Same with Underclock. Shark Fortress, Durandal, Crimson, Luxaurus. This theory is hilariously good against Trickstar. It makes it so they take all burn damage you would. Adrius, Tiras, and Mayo, Luxaurus to go over, and then I'll say Giant Grinder and Felgrand for 8s. None of these ever came up. And then Gustav Max. There's a super stupidly small scenario where I can't actually make this because of side deck cards. That's the extra deck. It's pretty much irrelevant, but I did put in things that can be summoned. For side deck, I had 2 borders. So Wano is just better than this, except for certain matchups when you want the effect to linger on your opponent's turn. Like Trickstar, if you're going first, or 60 card. Those are decks that I prefer to go first against because this basically shuts them out. Same to some extent with ABC. If they don't have a gadget, like even if they have a gadget, they have to like set it and then hope they have some other way to get a monster on board. Like it's pretty hard for those decks to get around this. Sadly, the only times I saw it were drawing it as a monster off of Demise after I'd already summoned something else, so it never came up, but in theory it was a good idea. 2 chicken eggs, more going second cards. Play against build big board, pendulum fields, and 60 card when they're making large boards. The one time this would have come in handy was actually round 1 of fighting against 60 card. He made a board of Skulldread, Logia, Tornado, Dweller, and Superconductor. I had this in hand and was feeling pretty good. Then he set a card, and I was like, okay, it's probably just bluffing me because it's a 60 card. Passes are on to my turn. Flips Master Restrict during my standby phase, so I had to just scoop and go to game 3, and then I won. But it has come up in the past. 2 Zaphion. It's really good against the mirror. It's really good against just random like rogue stun back row decks. It's really not that good against like Mech Knight Invoked or Trickstar stuff because most of the stuff is chainable or really just doesn't matter. Mirror Match is the main thing it was for. It's really good in that situation. Chalice is amazing. This is usually like that one last card that I'd side in, just one of these, in situations where I'd want to side in 3 copies of some other cards in my side deck, and I'd want to take out some other things. Like if I absolutely knew I was going second, I would side out Judgment Warning sometimes, and put this and like 3 copies of other cards. I did side both of these in against certain matchups, like the mirror match. I'd side against Paleo to stop the Swap Frog and then kill it and stop the engine from flowing. But Chalice is really good. Soul Drain. I don't think a lot of decks are playing this. This is phenomenal against 60 card. I did play an ABC matchup where this came up also. It's okay against frogs. I didn't end up siding it. There were just other cards that I decided to use instead. But for 60 card and some really random rogue stuff, it was a good idea for.
Makes sense.
And then 3 Iron Wall. If you're not playing this, you're honestly doing something incredibly wrong. This is amazing against so many different decks, and it stops evenly matched. If you know your opponent's playing it, I'd put in 2 copies and just have it sit there.
It tells dinosaurs they can't play.
Yeah, it turns off 60 card. It turns off Trickstar to a large extent. It completely turns off Invoked, and then you can just beat them down from there. And then 3 Anti-Spell. If I know I'm playing against Pendulum FTK, I just want maximum consistency for seeing this card. I don't play any hand traps, as you've seen. This is the last cards of the side deck, so the Typhoons are about my only defense against that deck, but again, I knew there was going to be a ton of rogue, so I just played the odds and hoped I wasn't going to play against a ton of Magician FTK. That actually was my one loss, was that, but he never actually FTK'd me. It was just game 1 I opened up pretty unfortunately. Game 2 I won, and then game 3 went into time, and he burned me with 1 Starving Venom, so. But yeah, that's the deck. Going second, Draco, I guess.
What were your matchups?
60 card, round 1. Round 2 was Mech Knight Invoked. Or no, I think it was Trickstar. And then round 3 was 60 card again. And then it was Mech Knight Invoked, and then it was the Pendulum that I lost to, and then Mech Knight Invoked, Paleo, and ABC was the final round. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't ever explain that. So technically, you can use these 2 to summon it. They're both level 10s. It's super obscure and requires you to summon them in a specific order and have Skill Drain, and then Skill Drain to go away for use Gustav. Like again, it technically can happen, but it probably never will. But the extra deck was there for not playable reasons anyway. So,
You got any shout-outs today?
Shout out to Mayhem, our local game store. Pretty cool place. And to Mama Bacon. That's it.
Finishes this deck profile. Remember to like and subscribe to your channel and get your game on YouTube. Peace.